to do this transition slow
Yeah.
so you can see them.
Uh-huh.
You can go at any pace that feels right to you.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I like to do is move from my hara, from my center. So that's why my body moves instead of just my arms. And that's why I don't move the feet. I'll move myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep my elbows, when I'm doing this kind of work, a little closer. And then they do have to rise up when you're in other spots. But.
Oh, that's neat.
And then if you can see how she's helping me, which is all good. I'm going to show you a way to let that go.
I know.
When you recognize that, you can just take a moment, place both
Yeah.
paws right on top and shake it out or give them a little pull. And then without verbally calling them out on it.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
relax. Yeah,
and then they
next time I
kind
do
of
that.
get
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you can get right into it, you know,
Okay.
right where you were. So you can always take that moment just to shake them out.
Okay.
And how's the pressure for you? It's good. nervous system. And I like to have my fingertips slide right over. And we're gonna do this multiple times, so everybody will get definitely times to here. And then I invite one arm to come up and slide, so that's my grip. And then from here, this introduces my hold. And then my fingers naturally slide up, and then I come right in to the brain. And I start right on this corner over here. Nice little flush. Rotate, and then I come down into my thumb walk. And then you'll feel, I'm moving my bottom thumb just to show, so you can get like a good view, just in case. But you're gonna use that to support the joint, which...
No, leave it there, so because I'm going to share it with her so she can see that.
Perfect. This is great. So I'm gonna just thumb walk all the way down. And it's nice just checking, how's the pressure? Good? Awesome. And then I've obviously lost count.
Yeah.
So I know I'm just gonna go over a few times, and when I lose count like this, I just know that I want to cover the whole pad, and I give myself permission to say it's okay that I lost count. I'm only human, and you guys don't let it, you know, stop you in your tracks. It's okay. So you just know that you need to get at least 6 to 9, if not a little more. So you just kind of make those passes through. And if you do it at least 3 times from from right to left on this foot, you know, coming from medial to the lateral to your outside, yes, you'll know that you're getting at least 2 or 3 passes in each chunk, if that makes sense. So then at the end, you just do a nice little flush, and I like to make a triangle around the helix, so I have 2 fingers and 1 finger here, and that supports this little circle.
Yes.
And then from here, I rotate those 3 fingers together, and I come right into midbrain. This hand is still in the same area, and then I'm gonna walk just right here. And then I give that nice little circle of a healing touch. And then I slide down right into the cervical spine. And then this is like a nice corner here. So I like to hit the whole corner, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna come down this pass, and you'll feel the bone. And then you come just a hair, you're overlapping it. Just a little more. So you're getting that whole cervical spine. Does that feel good for you? Nice. So you do your passes, then you give your little healing, a little closing flush right here. And then you're gonna
Now,
come.
when you feel like, when the client feels like a sensation
Yes.
in a certain area,
Yes.
does that mean you're on the bone, or is that something that's
It could be a response
physically-
with their reflex.
okay?
So reflexes are gonna feel sensitive, and that's where you're gonna have to adjust to your pressure and then communication as to why that feels like that. Because they're gonna say, why? What's wrong with me?
Right.
And you're gonna create, in time, you'll have the knowledge and the communication to help them with those questions.
Okay.
But right now we're still learning about the why. So it feels a little funny, but the reflexes do feel, sometimes they'll feel like thick pudding, and sometimes they'll feel like Rice Krispie treats, and sometimes they'll feel like a blow up doll, like they're just like blown up, like very puffy and everything. So you'll get different feelings. The more feet you work with and the more age groups that you work with, that's when you're really gonna get a whole experience of feet.
Yeah.
So, but you guys take a break if you want. I'm gonna keep working. I don't know what time it is, but we'll just come back in a little bit.
It's 11:50.
Okay, how about 12:15? Does that sound cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. And then we're gonna walk right in. I went a little further, sorry, scratching.
No, it's fine.
So we're gonna keep walking down into the thoracic, and then we're thumb walking all the way down, right into the cervical, and then I like to just, my hand naturally comes back up to bring me up. You're gonna find the root that brings you back up. So it might be from here straight to here, and then in time you might be you know, doing whatever feels
What?
natural. This just
No.
happens to feel like a
didn't
flowing
bring any
direction
for
for
that. I
me
did not.
instead of coming backwards. I like to just keep the circle going,
Okay.
but it's whatever feels right. And I start in this little nook here,
Do you eat?
and then I walk
hummus?
my way down. And then sometimes you may feel my thumb going like this, because the path isn't all straight.
I
Sometimes
won't.
it's curvy, so I'm
a
going
new
with
one.
your bone, going with your spine. And that's something that you're gonna develop over time. Right now, just getting the motion of going down the spine is beautiful, you know? And that's where we're at, is just walking down. So you're looking for that corner, yeah, walk all the way down, and then that's the way I come back up.
And you do that how many times?
And then you'll,
Six times.
yep, skipping through. I don't know how many times
Yeah.
I did, but so then I'm gonna come up here, and my natural response is coming towards me.
Okay.
So in the cervical spine, I'm coming towards me. And I go with my gut on that. I found to just trust it, you know, and in time you'll trust if it's a counterclockwise or a clockwise direction of turning up or turning down. But you can always, what feels better to you right there in that moment?
Me personally?
Yes,
The other way.
the other way, yep. And then as I come here, this would be my natural response going into this direction, and you just go with your gut. And then another direction you can go in is this one. But you would, and you may feel, and I'm using the base of my healing finger, but I'm letting these come to support my healing finger. So I'm using 3 fingers, but the chunk of it is my healing finger. These are supporting my middle finger. They're not necessarily offering pressure. It's my middle finger that's doing the work, but they're there for the hug.
Guidance. Like,
Yes, yeah, they're just, do you feel like how my middle finger is the meat of it, but they're there, like present? So you're gonna do those healing circles, and you come all the way down, and you've got 8, 12, 5, 5 into that coccygeal joint, the cervical. So 7, 8 cervical. It's 8 cervical. The 8th one doesn't rotate. The top 7 do. In the cervical spine. Then you come into your thoracic, your 12, and then you come into your lumbar 5, sacral coccygeal joint. And so those are those healing circles that will hit here. And then I like to, after I do my healing circle, I just naturally do it a little bit larger, and I get like that whole corner of the spine, if that makes sense. So I'll do that, and then I just do a nice little flush like this.
So what we're learning is the foundation.
Yes.
But then when you're actually out on your own, you're still gonna use the foundation that you learned, but it's also a lot of intuitive feeling.
Not necessarily, no. So let me correct that. Great that you repeated that back. I'm sorry I said that way.
No.
So
fine.
you're going to keep the integrity and the foundation of this whole entire thing.
Right.
But sometimes you'll have opportunity to invite your intuition in. Your intuition's always present. But you're going to keep the integrity and the foundation of the sequence
Correct.
right there. But sometimes your intuition is what I'm meaning, may take you back to cover something. So you're gonna learn to trust yourself as you develop your practice. And your hand placement and movement and all that's gonna be refined as you go along. Right now, it's nice just to get the basic motions down, and this is gonna be your motion. So you're gonna, it took me a good year to feel really solid with my elbow up like this, just because it's a whole nother, it's awkward. And I'm left-handed, I'm not ambidextrous at all, and I've learned that, it's different on both feet. And over time, I've gotten way better where they are pretty much seamless, and you can't tell the difference. I'm not dominant in one or the other when I'm offering reflexology. In time, that's going to happen for you. You know, you have to give yourself permission. So, and then, but after I would do this one, this is how I would transition. I keep one paw on and I would slide. So I let these fingers slide up and they wisp off. And then I come right into my hold onto the next. Does that feel right for you guys too? Awesome. Cool. So then now that I'm in my hold here, I'm gonna just come right over to this far corner, and I like to use the nail beds as a little guidance as well. And then your support, if you're comfortable, you're gonna be comfy. So I'm here and I'm gonna shake you out a little bit. And so your foot is gonna feel nice, natural. Your toes are lifting. So we're gonna let you relax there. And if you find somebody is like that, you have them in a good hold, so you can literally shake their foot out if you need to. Not aggressively, but you know, I'm sure you're gonna. But anyhow, so you got your good hold here and it's nice and secure. And then you draw up and then you just come right into it. 1, 2, 3, press down. And then from here, I'm gonna do that nice little, just a healing flush. Fingers come on top, and then I'm gonna slide right into coming down into the brain. And sometimes when I'm first starting, if I don't know my placement, just if I wanna feel comfortable, I'll slide that thumb down, and if these fingers feel right, then I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I start my walk. Hello, my dear. We're having a working lunch.
Yes.
So you're not missing anything. It's just, we'll repeat everything.
Okay.
And then when I head out for my squirrely guys, you guys are gonna stay in here and keep practicing. And then I'll be coming back right after. If you guys want more time. You know, I have a feeling we might want.
I want to do at least one more time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
with someone.
Yeah.
We need to practice on you.
On me?
Yeah.
And so I'm just feeling a few things. So I was just working out a few things. So I did it a little bit more. And then I'm gonna
Because
do
I
that
felt like at the base of the toe.
right in here.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where it was. You had a little bit of stuff in there.
Yeah.
We worked it
well,
out.
You know. the
It happens,
anxiety,
it happens,
the
it
stress,
happens.
You know, whatever.
So from here, I do that nice little flush, and I've made my triangle. So this is gonna set me up for my rotation for the midbrain. So from here, I'm sliding right into my midbrain. And then when I start, I find that my thumb naturally goes right on top of the midbrain, so I know I'm there, I'm hugging it. And then I come up off of it a little, and I walk down. And then I come back. And then I'm gonna give that a nice little flush, squeeze, hug, and then I'm gonna slide right into cervical. Those fingers bend, one comes down. So I come from here and do that nice and slow bow, right into there. So from here, I like to just give a nice little rub, and that lets me know that I'm in a good placement to prepare for my thumb walking. So now I bring my thumb up and I start my thumb walk. And you're doing that 8 times. 8 thumb walks times 3. And sometimes you need a little more, because I lose count all the time when I'm doing it in front of people, so especially.
What is this guy?
And then I come down, and now this is where this paw is gonna lightly touch. You're gonna drop in, which you just did. Did that feel right, where you just let it go, kind of in that sense? And then I find the base in that little nook, and then I walk right down. It's almost as though you're pressing into the corner of the arch of the foot too, in a sense. So you're not going totally on the side of the foot, on the lateral, like on the medial side, but you're right on the arch in that edge. And you can walk right down and come back up. However it feels right for you. Walk right back down. you're getting a little bit more active here. Turning your foot so you can see.
I'm trying to watch.
Yeah.
So I was like.
So you're gonna have plenty of opportunity to watch. This is a great opportunity just to feel it, because you're gonna need that opportunity too. That's where the light bulbs will go off when you see somebody's. You'll be like, oh my God, that's what they're feeling. I already know that feeling. Come back up, and then I slide over, and I get like this nice little hold here where it's, I guess the crook of my thumb comes right to the edge, not squeezing the fingers, but just below, so you have like a good hold. And then from here, this is, or actually I do go up a little higher, and then I'll work my way down. But from here, this is where you're gonna get right into the cervical healing circles. You may find yourself doing a little bit more or less, but we definitely want to get at least to the 8 circles times 3. And then from here, we're going to come right into the thoracic, and then into the lumbar, right into the coccygeal. Get that nice little soft flush. I'm going to give it a nice little healing flush. And then I'm going to be transferring to the other foot and to both feet. So I'm going to give this soft shake because I'm going right into the solar plexus. So I'm preparing myself. I slide down, and then your thumbs are going to go right into that nice little nook right here. And she's already left on those piggies, so we're gonna have her shake it out again. And then from here, I'm just gonna softly go right here. And instead of pushing her up, we're gonna keep her hanging low. And it's just the thumbs that are just gonna be offering that little bit of a pressure. And then in time, we'll offer a little bit more. We're gonna hold it for about 30 seconds, maybe a smidge more or less, hopefully not less. But take, as long as it takes to go in, take that time to come out. And here, I like to keep my elbows close, my shoulders down, in my back body, like that nice rooted feeling. And I find that I move from my hara, from my energy, from my center. And something that I do look for is a little bit of a pulse response or a little twitch. When they're in this session, when they're like at this point, usually the central nervous system kind of knocks them out a little bit, and then this is like the icing on the cake to really get them into that space. And as soon as you feel that little twitch or a pulse, a little response, that's when you know that they're really getting into the solar plexus, that you're feeling it. And here it may be a little different for you, Karen. I apologize because I'm talking, turning, and rotating my arms a little, so might not be the full feel. And then I just offer a nice little press at the end.
Did you feel it?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did you feel it?
I felt just a little bit on this side, just a little response, but not a whole big one. And I have a feeling it's because I'm talking and we're not in a a traditional setting. So I think that there's your sympathetic, your body's a little more turned on in that setting. So it's not like, but I did feel just a little, and it's just a nice soft indication that you're responding to, you know. But you're just looking for that nice, and sometimes if you find that their feet are lifting, you can shake it out a little and then offer that little gentle pressure where they're feeling the hug around with the solar plexus. And then from here, this is where you're going to move into what you're going to learn in 2 weeks. I'm not going to tell you what you're going to learn.
No,
So,
thank you.
but from here, this is where you'll go right into the next sequence, the next layer.
Yes.
But right now, we're just practicing these 3: kindness, central nervous system, solar plexus. And from what I've observed from watching you guys, you're doing wonderful. You're right where we were when we were in our group. So this is just normal. You're right on point. Don't think that you're
And you close
not,
her off
you know?
and flash her.
Say that again.
Did you
Oh,
close her?
yes, yep. So you'll do a nice little close, like a gentle press, and then you'll just do a nice soft little flush.
Yeah.
And this is just a nice way just to acknowledge that you've completed
Yeah.
the solar plexus, and then you'll move right into the next part. But I'm not going to
That's
show
right.
you,
Okay.
as my fingers want to go right there.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll let
Thank
you know
Appreciate-
some part where you're starting.
Appreciate you. Thank
But
you.
oh yes, you guys are.